At 88, Lorne Greene finally speaks with a rare honesty about his life, his legacy, and the people who shaped him most deeply, including Irene Ryan, the formidable woman America knew as Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies, born Lionel Hyman Greene on February 12, 1915 in Ottawa, Ontario. He was the only son of Russian Jewish immigrants Daniel and Dora Greene. They raised him with a fierce devotion to culture, education, and perseverance. Greene's early life was marked by discipline and a hunger for purpose. He initially intended to become a chemical engineer, but a passion for performance quietly took root during his years at Queen's University in Kingston. He joined the school drama guild, where his talent for oration and acting began to emerge. This early transformation would later define him as one of the most powerful voices and commanding presences in North American entertainment. From chemical engineer to voice of doom. After graduating from Queen's University, Greene turned to broadcasting, a field where his deep baritone voice became an asset. He quickly rose through Canadian radio ranks and became one of the country's most respected news readers during World War II. His authoritative delivery of grim war news earned him the nickname, the Voice of Doom. Audiences were drawn not to fear, but to his sincerity, gravitas, and trustworthiness. It was this voice, Crowd the Jung, steely, calm, and deeply human, that would later propel him into acting. Yet the broadcasting years were not merely a stepping stone. They shaped his understanding of responsibility, authority, and emotional restraint. He learned to speak to a nation during its darkest hours, and that discipline later became the backbone of his most famous roles. The television years, a face known across North America. In the 1950s, Greene transitioned to television and film, appearing in a range of supporting roles that showcased his range and versatility. Yet his breakthrough came in 1959 when he was cast as Ben Cartwright in NBC's Bonanza, one of television's first color series. Greene's role as the wise, moral, and steadfast patriarch made him an international icon. For 14 seasons, audiences watched him lead the Cartwright family through the rugged, unforgiving world of the Old West. His portrayal was deeply layered. He was not merely a frontier father, but a symbol of justice, integrity, and compassion during a time when television shaped public perceptions of heroism and family values. The chemistry between Greene and his co-stars, Pernell Roberts, Dan Blocker, and Michael Landon, created a family dynamic that became one of television's most beloved. A surprising musical career and cultural impact. Beyond Bonanza, Greene had a successful career in music and narration. In 1964, he recorded the spoken word ballad Ringo, which unexpectedly became a chart-topping hit, reaching #1 on Draw. Hot 100. In his signature dramatic voice, Greene narrated the story of a gunslinger in the Old West, cementing his image as a Western icon. He released several albums featuring Western-themed songs and traditional ballads, demonstrating a surprising versatility beyond acting. His music career revealed a man who understood storytelling not only through dialogue, but through rhythm and tone. Greene's cultural impact extended beyond entertainment. He became a symbol of the American frontier myth, shaped by a Canadian immigrant's voice and discipline. From Western patriarch to sci-fi commander, Greene's career continued to flourish into the 1970s and 1980s. He hosted and narrated documentaries, leveraging his trustworthy voice to educate and inform. His most notable later role was Commander Adama in Battlestar Galactica, 1978 to 1979, where he played the wise and courageous leader of a fugitive space fleet searching for a new home. The show gained a devoted cult following, and Greene's performance gave it emotional depth and credibility. His presence elevated the genre at a time when science fiction was often dismissed as shallow. Greene's ability to anchor a story through voice and authority made him not just a performer, but a moral compass within the narrative. This later chapter introduced him to a new generation of fans who recognized him as more than a Western patriarch. A man of conservation and compassion beyond entertainment, Greene was known for philanthropy and environmental advocacy. He co-founded the Lorne Greene Academy of Radio Arts in Toronto, training aspiring broadcasters and actors and shaping future Canadian talent. He also worked with organizations like the National Wildlife Federation and frequently lent his voice to public service announcements supporting conservation. Greene's deep love for animals and nature reflected his later projects, including wildlife-focused television programs. His activism was not performative, it was personal. He carried the values of discipline, responsibility, and respect for life into his advocacy. His legacy as a public figure became inseparable from his identity as a caretaker of the natural world. Family life, love, loss, and private strength. Greene was married twice, and both marriages shaped his private life. He married Rita Hance in 1938 while building his broadcasting career. Their marriage lasted more than 2 decades, producing twins in 1944, a son and a daughter. But the strain of public life and growing success eventually led to divorce in 1960. Greene then married Nancy Deal in 1961, a former Hollywood public relations executive who understood the pressures of fame. Their marriage lasted until Greene's death in 1987 and produced one daughter, Gillian Greene, who later became a film director and producer. Greene remained a devoted family man, often describing his children and wife as his true grounding force. His private life was quieter than his public image, but it was where his humanity truly lived. A friendship built on truth, meeting Dan Blocker. Lorne Greene and Dan Blocker first met on the Bonanza set in 1959. Greene was already an established actor. Blocker was a former teacher and Korean War veteran with a gentle heart wrapped in a giant frame. Their on-screen chemistry as father and son became legendary. Off-screen, they developed a natural rapport. Greene became a kind of paternal figure, not only to Blocker, but to the entire cast. Blocker's boisterous laughter and self-deprecating humor brought warmth to long, grueling production schedules. Yet, as time went on, Greene began to see beyond the beloved public persona. He began to witness the private shadows of the man who played Hoss, the emotional struggles, the inner conflicts, and the hidden burdens that fame often masks. The dark secret, the war that haunted Hoss duo. Zijn dus door laat soren, soundver, zijn, Rielden. A side of Blocker that few knew. He described Blocker as deeply sensitive, burdened by self-doubt and emotional fatigue. Blocker struggled with fame and the discomfort of being reduced to a single role. Greene witnessed the moments when Blocker retreated into himself between takes, especially after filming scenes involving violence or gunfire. Greene later revealed that Blocker had endured traumatic experiences during the Korean War. He rarely spoke of specific events, but the emotional toll was evident. The contrast between his gentle on-screen character and his real-life past created a tension he carried quietly. Greene also shared that Blocker feared failing as a father and husband, worried his children would remember Hoss more than their father. This vulnerability was the hidden truth behind the public image. Outro, the enduring legacy of a real friendship. When Dan Blocker died suddenly in 1972, the Bonanza cast and fans were devastated. For Greene, the loss was even more poignant because he knew the depth of Blocker's private pain. He kept Blocker's memory alive through interviews, visits to his grave, and a refusal to romanticize the man. Greene honored him not as a caricature, but as a whole person, flawed, suffering, brave, and deeply loyal. His revelation about Blocker's hidden trauma, humanized a figure millions adored, reminding the world that even the happiest faces can mask inner battles. Greene's own life, marked by discipline, compassion, and a powerful voice, became a testament to the strength of loyalty. He did not merely play a father on screen, he became one in real life, holding space for his friends' shadows, long after the cameras stopped rolling.